Hey guys, so today I'm going to do a slightly different video than usual. I'm still going to be doing my makeup, but I'm not going to be doing the same look and trying to repackage it. Today I'm going to beat my face as usual, but instead I think I'm just going to sit here and tell a story. Let me know if you guys like this video concept after you watch this. If so, I'm going to keep doing it in the future. If not, I'm going to get a real life. I'm going to be telling my coming out story. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with my Maybelline Master Prime. Just put that all over my face. I think if we're being honest, looking back, even if I didn't know it at the time, you know, there's always been signs that, you know, like, that I was a homosexual, you know. Actually, believe it or not, my first kiss ever was with a guy. I don't even know if that counts though. Everyone, I feel like almost everyone, whether they talk about it or not, has like homosexual inclinations as a kid, even if they don't end up growing up to identify as gay or bisexual or anything on the queer spectrum, just because sexuality is fluid and it's really hard to define. Like, I think even, I mean, I would comfortably identify as gay now, but even that I feel like is not entirely accurate, but I don't want to identify as like bi or pan or anything like that because I think gay is just the best label, but I digress. So that was probably the first example I can think of just early inclinations of homosexuality. So now I'm gonna go in with my Marc Jacobs oh my god, focus, bitch. So now I'm gonna go with my Marc Jacobs Shameless Youth Foundation. Another incident I vividly remember, I think I was about 14 or so. It was during hockey. I used to play hockey as a kid. I know, shocker. Mask for mask. I remember one day we were getting dressed in the locker room before practice. And like I said, I was about 14 and I was always one of the younger kids on the team. So I feel like the other kids were about 15, 16 at this time. And I just remember we were all changing and this one boy called me out for checking this other guy out. Looking back on it, I wasn't even like consciously doing it. You know, it's like how straight men subtly check out women. They caught me slipping. And I remember early on, you know, I was that kid that everyone was always asking. They were like, you know, are you gay? The area I grew up in is kind of mixed. You know, there's people that are very supportive and there's people that feel some type of way about it. And even amongst, you know, the people that showed their support openly, you know, I had people tell me, you know, like, Jacob, are you gay? Like, I'll support you either way. Just be honest with yourself, live your truth, you know, and I'd be like, bitch, I'm not. Like, fuck out of here. Even before I really knew what gay meant, I was raised to think that, you know, being gay was not a positive thing, I'll say. Like, I don't know, I feel like my parents never really touched on being gay that much, but you know, it's definitely sort of like kind of like a no-no, which I feel like is very common for most people that grow up in a typical religious American household. So around the time I started coming out to people, it was around high school. I remember going into high school actually my freshman year because it was a new school and I still wasn't entirely sure about myself. So I remember the sister of this guy I was friends with in middle school became one of my best friends in high school because we ran cross country together and we were doing sports, and she had set me up with one of her friends freshman year. I mean, me and this girl were like a piece for a minute. We dated, I'd say, for about 6 months, and then I cut it off. We started dating over winter break, and we broke up over the summer of freshman year. After we'd broken up, you know, I did some soul searching. I had come to the realization within myself that, you know, your boy gay. I'm sitting here summer of 2011 thinking to myself, bitch, I'm gay. I went to a new school, so I didn't really make any friends that summer, so I wasn't hanging out with anybody. You know, I was kind of all by myself and my thoughts. So coming back the next school year, I mean, as soon as I had figured that out within myself, I had pretty much told myself that I was not going to come out at school. I was not going to act upon it. But then I remember in October, this girl in the group of friends that I was hanging out with at the time, we had English class together, and I don't know why, but one day after class, she decided to come up to me out of all the people in the group, which is funny to me because, you know, I was like the newcomer to the school and the group, and just, it felt weird to me that I was the one that she was most comfortable telling. But anyway, she came up to me after class in private in the corner, and she tells me, she says, I want to tell you something important. I haven't told anyone yet. And I was like, oh gosh. Like, not even really thinking about, you know, this bitch about to come out. I'm just like, what does she want? Like, what is she about to tell me? Homegirl lays it on me that she is a lesbian, to which I replied, and I think this is like kind of a common thing for gay guys when they first come out, is to come out as bisexual because it kind of softens the blow a little bit. At least I feel like that's a common thing. I don't know if it is. Don't come for me, don't at me. So I told her like, oh, that's cool, you know, like I'm actually bisexual. It's nice to know that there's someone, you know, in this group that I can relate to in that sense, I guess, you know, on the queer spectrum. I was pretty confident that homegirl was gonna keep it between us, you know, because she had told me, you know, don't tell anyone, I'm not ready yet, like I want to come out in the next couple weeks. I felt really comfortable telling you, but I'm not ready to tell the other guys. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, but you know, give me the same respect. So what does homegirl do? Bitch runs home and goes to Xbox Live and is telling everyone in the group, she's like, you know, guess what? Guess who came? And mind you, I didn't have Xbox Live at the time, so, well, I never had it actually. So homegirl runs to Xbox Live and the whole group's there except me, Abby, and she's like, oh my gosh, guys, guess who in the group came out to me today? Apparently, I was like the last person they guessed, which I'm just like, bitch, how? Like, come on. Straight men really just have no type of gaydar? Are y'all awake? Come on. And, you know, I guess not surprisingly, but like surprisingly and thankfully, no one in the group really cared in the sense that like, they let me know, you know, obviously they had my back and I had their support and they weren't gonna turn on me just because of that. After the news broke out within the group, you know, it was never really spoke about again, besides them asking once in a while if I was talking to anyone and how all that was going, you know what I'm saying? Which is really nice. I felt really comfortable in that. There were a few times in high school I had issues with some people. I remember this boy who I went to middle school with who ended up coming to the high school because it was a different school than I went to elementary and middle school for. I guess initially he tried to be cool by bullying me, but you know, my people had my back and they shut that shit down real quick and let him know that that was not the move. High school overall was actually pretty accepting, although I didn't actually do anything in high school besides come out. Like, I didn't really kiss any guys, date any guys, talk to any guys. I think that I was kind of fucking ugly in high school too, but you know, what you want to do. And then I came to college. One of my high school friends, actually, we went to the same school, and he had mentioned one of the LGBT groups at school and had mentioned attending. I attended like religiously my freshman year of college. I was there basically every weekend. So throughout college, I became more, I guess, comfortable in myself and my sexuality, and I became way more expressive of it. So the moment when I came out to my parents, I remember it specifically, it was Halloween sophomore year. For all my Snapchat veterans out there, if y'all remember that face filter they had where you were puking the rainbows and you had like the big eyes, you know, and the blush, all that. I recreated that look for a Halloween look. That's the first video I ever posted on this channel, was just a video of me doing that in time lapse, not talking, nothing. So I done that look for Halloween and I posted it to my Instagram, and then I also shared it to Facebook. I remember just posting it and thinking like, okay, whatever, it's posted. And on Instagram, you know, all my friends are like, yes, bitch, fuck it up, looks, 7 looks, you know, all that. So I'm like, okay, this is lit. So I posted to Instagram, you know, my friends are gassing me up. I go out that night, I get lit, it's whatever. So it's the next day, I'm at the gym. Bitch, I'm hungover as fuck, but I'm there because, you know, I gotta have that body looking right. My mom texts me and she's like, are you busy right now? And I go, I'm at the gym, but I'll be finishing up shortly, what's up? And she's like, please call me when you have a chance, I wanna talk. A bitch has anxiety through the roof. I finished what I was doing pretty much right then and there. I walk my ass outside and I call her and I'm like, what's up? And so she's asking me, she's talking about, so I seen this picture you posted on your Facebook. I was talking with your dad and I just wanna know, like, are you gay or not? And my heart started racing so fast. Bitch, I thought I was gonna go into cardiac arrest, die on site. I pulled it together and, you know, I told her that yes, in fact, I was gay. That was just who I am as a person. Whether she accepted or not, that's how it's gonna be. So she was accepting, but you know, she had, I feel like it's a very typical reaction from parents that are accepting. She was very much, you know, why didn't you ever tell me this, that, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I was just telling her, you know, growing up in that household, you know, I don't know, you never know how people are gonna react. You see all these videos of parents, you know, kicking their kids out for coming out and this, that, and parents that just don't accept their kids. And, you know, you don't want to think it's your parents, but it's just the world we live in. You can't, you can't, you know, you can't even trust your parents sometimes. And it's like, sounds bad to say it like that, but it be like that sometimes. So I was just telling her, you know, like, I've seen all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And she felt kind of hurt, you know, she was like, you know, why would you think I would ever stop loving you just because of this? We like kind of resolved it. And she hung up, I was crying, she hung up crying. The next day, oh, I gotta tone that shit down. The next day, my dad texts me when I'm in lecture and he's like, your mom talked to me last night, she told me what was up, and I just want you to say, you know, I love you either way. You are always my child, I will always love you. From then on, I felt pretty empowered in my sexuality and myself. I've never really felt like I had to try too hard to pretend to be someone I'm not. I mean, my parents still go to church and all that, and like, I don't, cause I'm not about that Jesus shit. But I feel like I'm pretty lucky overall. I never really had any complications with with friends or even family, especially. You know, friends is usually easy to come out to, but it's the family is where it gets hard. But even then, most of my family's been pretty accepting. I feel pretty blessed in that I had a good support system. So that's the end of the video. That's my story. If you guys like this format, let me know. I'll be sure to make more videos like this in the future of just like other stories. If you guys want to hear a story about any particular topics or anything, leave comments below, leave suggestions. I'd love to have ideas to go off of for future content. And if you guys have any questions or anything for me, leave them below as well. I'd love to make a Q&A video sometime in the future. So with all that being said, I'm gonna go about my day now. But be sure that you guys go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more content. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And be sure to leave a comment below and let me know what you want to see from me in the future. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.